Gather round me, lads, and listen close, and I'll tell to you my tale. And I'll swear to you this tale is true, though it comes from beyond the veil. Now just sit back and close your eyes and listen to the song I sing of the ballad of Brave Vahlinor, some call the Serpent King. In olden days, yes, days of yore, there was a man called Vahlinor. His Viking heart was brave and true, and with his men he sailed the blue. But the sea, she is a salty lass, and set her sights on more than the songs she heard or the stories told of the man called Vahlinor. Now Vahlinor and his mighty men, they fared from Gallowmere, and to see him and his mighty men, folks came from far and near. And on those folks' lips were brought tales of great veins of silver ore that could be found beyond the sea in the mountains of distant shores. Now the tales they told, they reached the ears of Vahlinor one day, yet all but one of his mighty men were gone and far away. Still the need was great for that giant trove, that treasure of silver ore. So from Gallowmere set sail that day brave Steffan and Vahlinor. As the two of them set about their task, the sky was cast in gloom, and as they worked, that salty lass made plans to seal their doom. For she had pledged a vow that if she could not have this Vahlinor to wed, then she'd send a snake to take his heart, and she'd have his life instead. So she stirred the sea and swelled the waves till they reached up to the sky, and sent her Serpent on its way so that Vahlinor would die. But the ship had sailed fast and true beneath Steffan's steady hand. It flew just like an arrow straight, aimed at those distant lands. The rain crashed down and lightning cracked, and the sail filled with an evil wind. And though brave Steffan fought the helm, thoughts of distant shores grew dim. The storm was great, but the mighty Serpent Steffan spied. But so loud was the crash of the waves that it hid his warning cry. The Serpent's head it rammed the boat, and Vahlinor flew free. And the salty lass embraced him as he dropped into the sea. Now Steffan saw what happened and let the rudder go. Knowing that his friend needed him, he stood and drew his bow. Vahlinor was unaware of the serpent that Steffan had spied, nor about the oath the lass had made that Vahlinor should die, but bravely kept himself afloat and swam towards the ship, till the serpent caught him in its coils and squeezed him in its grip. The monster reared its ugly head and screamed toward the sky, as Steffan drew and fired his bow, sinking arrows into its eyes. Thunder pealed and waves did crash as Steffan watched in awe. The giant serpent reared its ugly head and let gape its toothy maw. Vahlinor, over scales like knives, climbed up upon its back and perched there just behind the head so the beast could not attack. Steffan saw him riding there as it swam toward the ship. He dove back toward the rudder plank and caught it in its grip. Then the monster rammed its head, and just mere moments before, off its back and onto the deck rolled brave Vahlinor. With a roar of rage he seized a bow from the weapons in the hold, and set upon the beast as through the waves they drove. Blood filled those mighty waves and soaked the salty lass, yet no other serpent could catch the ship before it reached the pass. The bow it twanged, and towards the snake Vahlinor's arrows sped, and sank themselves into the bone until the beast was dead. Now the sea grew calm as the salty lass accepted her defeat, and back to the depths with her jealous heart the lass she did retreat. So when you see the waves are rough and high, and you hear the serpent's roar, this is when the lass she sleeps, and she dreams of Vahlinor.